Hey guys, I am here today to do another pregnancy update. First, I want to apologize because it has been forever since I've done one. It has been on my list, but each week just keeps flying by and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have not done an update. So I'm not even sure how long it's been, maybe almost 10 weeks. I don't even know when the last time I did one. Maybe only 6 weeks, I don't know. But it's been a while, so I'm gonna try to remember as much information as I can and show you guys my belly and just get right into this update. So right now, as I'm filming this, I am 31 weeks and 1 day, and this video is going up today. So 31 weeks and 1 day today. And I'm freaking out a little bit because that means there's only, well, 9 weeks left, but there's really only 8 weeks left, and I'll talk about that at the end of the video. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the questions, then we'll go from there. Total weight gain so far is 22 pounds. And with both of my other pregnancies, I was at 24 pounds at this week. But I think since I started this pregnancy 10 pounds heavier, maybe I won't gain as much. I'm not sure. It's only really 2 pounds less than what I was on the other two, but 22 pounds total. Maternity clothes. Yes, I'm in maternity clothes or Chris's shirts. So I have like 2 pairs of shorts. It's starting to get really hot here. I have 2 pairs of shorts that are barely fitting because the other 2 pregnancies, I wasn't this far along when I had to wear shorts. With James, I was at the very beginning of my pregnancy, and with Jackson, I had him already. So very beginning of the pregnancy with him too. So this time around, these shorts are kind of getting tight. But if you guys watch our daily vlogs, I did buy like 4 maternity dresses that are just like loose summer dresses that I can wear around the house that are really comfortable. And then otherwise, I'm either in pajama pants and one of Chris's shirts or some sort of yoga pants in Chris's shirt. So that's just what I'm gonna be wearing for the next 2 months. Stretch marks. Nope, I don't see any stretch marks. Sleep. Sleep is okay. I know I talked about insomnia the last time, and I don't really have that this time. If I do have to get out of bed to go to the bathroom, I try not to turn on any lights or like wake myself up at all. I just try to walk straight there, go to the bathroom, walk straight back, and go back to bed. But if I have to get up to go give Jackson a passy, that means I have to go out of my house, walk all the way to the other side of the house, walk upstairs, then to the other side of the house, give him his passy or whatever he wants, then walk back down the stairs. By the time I get back to my bed, for some reason, I just can't settle down and fall back asleep. So that is difficult, and sometimes I'll stay awake then. But otherwise, I don't really have the insomnia anymore. But my body is pretty much telling me that it's done, and I am in a lot of pain most days and most of the time. I talked about my sore muscle in my belly for a while, and that was usually just like when I was walking around, it would just hurt a little bit. But now it's hurting all of the time. If I'm sitting down, it hurts. If I'm laying down, it hurts. If I'm walking, it hurts. If I'm picking Jackson up, it hurts. It just hurts all the time. So even when I'm laying down to go to bed or to sleep, it's hurting. And so that can kind of prevent me from getting comfortable at night and sleeping. And when I'm like changing positions in the middle of the night, I'm actually waking up because it hurts so bad. So sleep is okay, I guess. Best moment of the week, which is best moment for a while. I passed my glucose test, which for some reason I was worried about it. I don't know why. I passed it both times with the other kids, and they said I passed with flying colors this time. And also, I talked about in my daily vlogs, my iron being low. It was on the border of being anemic in the beginning of the pregnancy, so I was a little bit worried. I've been taking an extra iron pill along with my prenatal, but I've just been super tired, no energy, and I was convinced. Can you guys hear my dog drinking water? I'm sorry. I was convinced that I was anemic, but it turns out that my iron is actually higher than it was in the beginning of the pregnancy. So I have no worries there. So that was obviously some good news. Chris and I went on our baby moon, which was a really great moment or week. That was something that I was looking forward to, and it was very relaxing. I'm glad we did that. And I think that's probably it. We've just kind of just been hanging out and getting ready for Piper and just getting really excited and kind of doing some last minute things before we're a family of 5. Do I miss anything? I miss being able to move around comfortably. Like I said, I'm in a lot of pain lately. Also, I miss my energy, and I miss being able to get the kids ready and out the door without feeling like I need to take a nap. I talked about in my daily vlogs as well, just getting the kids dressed, both kids' shoes on, the bag packed, carrying Jackson out to the car, carrying my bag out to the car, putting both kids in their car seats. That just takes it out of me right there. So I'm kind of looking forward to having my body back and just being able to do all of that easier. Movement, yes. And I was actually thinking the other day how I feel like this time around I can feel more body parts moving around. I feel like with Jane, maybe it was just because it was my first pregnancy, I didn't know what I was feeling, but it was just like bumps here and there and, you know, just kicks and stuff. But this time, I can't really remember what it was with Jackson, but this time I can feel it's like it's all baby or something. Like there's nothing else in my belly, it's just her. So like I feel like her knee move or roll or cross, or her arm or her fingers. And so there's like a lot of distinct movements, and she's moving all of the time. Food cravings. I don't think I'm really having food cravings, but I'm really enjoying dill pickles again. And that happened with Jackson. I could eat a whole jar of sandwich dill pickles in a week, because usually for my lunch, I'll just have like snack foods. I'll have like a hard-boiled egg, I'll have some cheese and crackers, I'll have some pickles and some fruit. That's usually what I eat. And with the pickles, I can just eat those. I actually ran out of pickles like a few days ago, and last night I really was craving pickles. I was like, I wish I had that jar of pickles right now. That is pretty much the only thing that I feel like I'm craving. Food is just good in general right now, I think. This isn't really a craving. I guess you could call it a craving, but if you guys have been following me for a while, you might think this is crazy, but it happened with Jane's pregnancy, happened with Jackson's pregnancy, now it's happening again, and it is the weirdest thing ever. I feel like I need to be on my strange addiction. But the smell of soap, particularly Dial bar soap, is the most amazing thing I've ever smelled. And this happened at the end of all 3 pregnancies. I don't know if it's the heightened sense of smell because it hasn't been the whole pregnancy, and it's also other smells, but the bar soap is the #1 smell. But my face wash, laundry detergent, anything that's like cleaning supplies or something smells so good. So I can literally stand at my sink and the smell of the soap for hours upon hours, which I don't, but it just smells so good. It smells so good, I feel like I could eat it. So it's very strange, but I'm just kind of going with it. And with the 2 past pregnancies, as soon as I had the baby, the soap still smells good, but it's not like I need to stand there and smell it all day long. So it's very strange, but I'm just going with it because it's happened before, just rolling with it. Anything making you queasy or sick? No, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like when I do take my extra iron pill, if I don't have enough food in my stomach, then I start to feel a little bit sick, but I know that it's from the iron, so I'm not too worried about it or like, oh man, I'm getting sick. I've been feeling pretty good. I have had, which I don't know if I've mentioned at any of these updates, is pretty much I've had a stuffy nose this whole entire pregnancy, which I know happens. And I know I did have a cold at some point too, where it got a lot worse. But in general, pretty much every morning I have to blow my nose, and then the rest of the day I'm fine. So that's not really like queasy or sick, but that's definitely something that I have noticed. Have you started to show? Yeah, I'm starting to show. Gender, it's a girl, and we are so excited. Labor signs, no labor signs, but I am having major Braxton Hicks contractions. With Jane, I don't remember them too much. I remember them towards the very end with Jackson. This time they've showed up a lot earlier and they happen a lot more often. And it's funny because I never mentioned it to my doctor at all. And my last appointment, she mentioned it to me. She said, a lot of people on their third pregnancy notice that the Braxton Hicks show up a lot earlier and they're like stronger. They don't hurt, but they're stronger. And that's definitely what's happening with me. So a lot of times if I'm getting it, I just know that I need to sit down for a second or breathe through it, and then I'm fine. Like I said, I'm not worried about it or anything. It's just interesting that they've kind of showed up so much earlier than the other 2 pregnancies. Belly button in or out? I don't know. I feel like sometimes if I'm wearing a tight shirt, it looks like it's poking out. It's not like out, but it's definitely not in. So I don't know. It's definitely popped though. Wedding rings on or off? You guys, today is Monday, and on Saturday I finally had to take my rings off. And I haven't even noticed that my fingers were getting big or I was retaining any water or anything. I took my rings off to put lotion on Jackson. That's what I do every single night. I noticed when I was taking them off that they were hard to take off. And sometimes they are, like towards the end of the day, my fingers are a lot more swollen. And so trying to take them off has been hard, but I can always get them back on. When I went to try to go put them back on after I put the lotion on Jackson, they just weren't going on. So I was like, I'm not gonna force it. So they're officially off. The day before I turned 31 weeks, I just went ahead and took them off. So no more wedding rings for a while. Happy or moody most of the time? I would say I'm pretty happy. I wouldn't really say moody. I just get in a mood sometimes, especially with my body hurting so bad. If my body is hurting and I'm trying my best and taking care of the kids and maybe they're just like whining or going crazy, sometimes I can get like over flustered and just annoyed, and that can kind of make me a little bit moody. But in general, I'm pretty happy. Looking forward to, I think I'm just looking forward to seeing Piper. I was telling my good friend and neighbor how I just don't like being pregnant. You guys know that, and I'm kind of over it, especially with my body hurting so bad. I was like, I'm just ready for her to be here. But then I was also thinking how I have my routine down, the kids are doing good, and with 3, my life is gonna get a lot crazier. So am I really ready for her to be here? I'm not sure. We will see, but she's gonna get here at some point. We're gonna have to adapt at some point. So we're just really excited. I think part of me is like, she needs to stay in a lot longer. And the other part of me is like, I want her here right now. I think we're just looking forward to getting our family of 5 started and getting into a routine and seeing her. So that is it for the questions. I did want to mention one more thing that I've been talking to my doctors about, and this might be a little bit controversial, and this happened with last pregnancy as well. So if you do not agree with me, that's fine. Just don't leave any hate comments. It's really not going to do any good. You can give me your advice. I'm all up for advice, but this is just something that we as a family and me and my doctors have decided to do. But I am most likely going to be induced at 39 weeks. And there's a few reasons for that. The main reason is because they're worried that if I do go into labor on my own, the baby's gonna come very, 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 very fast. I was induced with Jane at 38 weeks because they thought that I had preeclampsia, which I ended up not having it. It was like the early stages of preeclampsia. I think I was dilated to 1 centimeter at that point. And from the time that they put the Pitocin in to start the induction to the time that Jane was born was a total of 10 hours, which is pretty good for a first time pregnancy, first labor and all that, especially because my body wasn't even going into labor on its own. It was being put into labor from the Pitocin. So they thought 10 hours was pretty fast for my first baby. So then last pregnancy with Jackson, I asked to be induced because of the muscle pain that I'm having now. I had it a lot later with Jackson, but it was hurting really bad, and I just felt like I wanted to be induced. I felt comfortable with that plan, and so that's what we ended up doing. The hospital can't induce you any earlier than 39 weeks on the dot, so even 38 weeks and 6 days they cannot do. So at 39 weeks I got induced. At that point I think I was 2 centimeters dilated, and from the time I was given the Pitocin then to the time Jackson was out was only 4 hours. And so the doctors were very, 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 very shocked about how fast it went. The fact that my body was not in active labor and it went that fast kind of worries the doctors a little bit with the third pregnancy. Number one, this pregnancy is really close to the last pregnancy, so my body might go a lot faster. And since my body already goes fast, if I were to go into labor on my own, my body's already starting labor, it might be really fast and we might not be able to make it to the hospital, or you know, something might happen. So most likely, as long as I'm dilated, I will be induced at 39 weeks, which makes it so I'm only 8 weeks away, and I'm freaking out a little bit. So that's the plan. Obviously things can change, things can happen before then. I could have her before the 39 week mark, who knows? So everything's still played by ear, but that is the plan as of now. From talking to, actually 2 of my doctors have mentioned that they wanted to do that. So anyways, that is it for the update. I'm gonna show you guys my belly and then we're gonna go. All right, so here is my 31 week belly. It is getting big. You can kind of see my belly button. You see it a little bit, but you can't see it from the side. So I don't know if you would consider that popped. Here it is with my shirt up. Again, there's the belly button. I don't know if she seems higher or lower than the other pregnancies. I'll have to compare pictures. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this pregnancy update. Sorry, there was a lot to talk about because I have been slacking on these videos. Hopefully I can get 1 or 2 more up before she gets here. Knowing me and my track record of doing these updates, we might only get 1 back in, but we'll try as we get towards the end of this to keep updating you guys. But I hope you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and we'll see you next time.